Alright, this one is, am I the asshole for telling my dad I'm not a toy he can take out when he needs me and discard me once I serve my purpose? I'm gonna say no. Alright, let's see. I'm at 22 male, a twin, and I have a twin sister, Red. When Red and I were 4, our mom died from liver cancer. Why are his parents dying left and right? God damn, I'm so sorry. When Red and I were 4, our mom died from liver cancer. She was 30. I know that could be difficult for Dad. Going from a happy married father of 2 to a widowed father of 2 with no family close enough emotionally for support would be a lot. Oh no. But he was a better dad to my sister than to me. That started before Mom died. It just stood out more after. My dad was an affectionate and caring father to Red. He was his little girl and he cherished her. If she fell, he would pick her up, kiss her tears, and clean her cuts. He was gentle and compassionate with her. When she was upset, she would sleep in bed with him. He'd snuggle with her on the couch. He'd pull her out of school sometimes and take her for father-daughter dates. When she was bullied, he was writing the school hard to deal with it, and he fought so hard for her. He went out of his way to make sure she was loved and supported. Oh no. Growing up, I heard the words tough and strong a lot. I heard the word man a lot, and I was still so young. He never cuddled me or kissed away my tears or carried me. He never even said I love you to me. Oh, damn. There was nothing gentle about him when it came to me. He was rougher, harsher. He expected me to be tough, to be a man, to be strong. Oh no. If I had a nightmare, I was sent right back to bed. When I got bullied horrifically in high school, my dad didn't want to know. There were times Ren and I would both fall. We'd both be young too, and even if I was bleeding more, she was the kid he comforted. It was never me. Not if it was both of us falling, and not if it was just me. He never did father-son dates. The most interest he ever showed in me was when I could help him do guy chores, like moving stuff. I tried to approach this with him a few different occasions, but I never got to finish. He always cut me off for one reason or another. It got to a point where I expected it if I tried. I moved in with my best friend's family after I finished high school at home. Ren lived at home for 2 more years. Dad only called me when he wanted something. He did it again the other day, and I decided this had to end. I told him I'm not a toy he can take out when he needs me and then discard me once I've served my purpose. I told him I'm his son, not his helper. And I brought up how he never says he misses me or says I love you. He never even showed me love or affection, and I wasn't going to tolerate it anymore. Dad sent me an email in response. An email?! He emails better than he texts, saying I was being very harsh. He said I was never his little girl and boys are raised different. I replied I was never trying to be his little girl, but I was his little boy, and he should have shown me love too. He responded again, and I accused him of discarding me like a possession, which was unjustified. Am I the asshole? That's some toxic masculinity. Dad is the asshole. Dad is the asshole. And then he's like, you hurt my feelings because you told me about the ways that I didn't treat you the same. I don't think they're the asshole. I'm gonna say no. Well, their feelings are justified. Their feelings are justified. I can't really agree with the whole, like, toy, like that part. I can understand, like, them saying that comment particularly is, like, what made them feel like the asshole, but it was, like, a bunch of pent-up, like, feelings, too. Am I the asshole for calling my sister-in-law annoying and telling her I'm tired of hearing her joke about me having a girl's name? No. My wife and I have been together since we were 19, and we're now 32. I met her family after we'd been together a year. Sister-in-law was actually the first. Very first time we met, she blurted out that I have a girl's name, Sky, and then proceeded to laugh about it. What's your name? Tulip? Shut up. I don't know her name. My wife told her to shut up and stop laughing. It didn't bother me at all back then. I just laughed and told her there are plenty of male Skys around, even my great-grandfather who was partially named after. I was named after my great-grandpa, Schuler, who went by Sky his entire life, and Sky Masterson from Guys and Dolls. So the first time was no big deal. Some people have asked me before if I felt like my name was a girl's name and not a guy's name, and I never minded. Sister-in-law joked a lot about my name and our kids' names. Not the kids' names. Boom, boom, boom. I'll fight you. Sister-in-law joked a lot about my name and our kids' names when we were expecting our babies. It got a little annoying, but you know, I was able to brush it off, and my wife would cut off her sister and tell her to leave if she went a little too far, which only happened once back then. We didn't see her a lot for a while, but she got engaged last year and was around more, and seemed to have calmed down a lot. And now she's having her own baby, a girl, and oh boy, is she really testing my patience. Oh no! It started with her husband asking what she thought of the name Sky for their daughter. Are you fucking joking me? Are you fucking joking? Oh. God, what a bitch. I'm sorry, I don't like saying that, but like, girl, pop, what the is your goddamn problem? She joked that she couldn't use the name because she didn't want me to feel more like a girl than I already do. Babes, you are being such a asshole. What the I would just like drop her. That is so rude. I can't even imagine what her like oh no. She's gonna have kids? Oh god. This small comment I feel is just not small. My wife told her to grow up and we laughed. Next time we saw her, they announced Sky was the name they decided to go with. Oh. I said cool. Sister-in-law said she was surprised I was okay with sharing a name with a girl. I told sister-in-law her daughter wouldn't be the first and I wasn't insecure in my masculinity and I saw no problem with sharing same name girls or women. Next time we saw them, it was a joke about putting both Skies in pretty pink dresses when her daughter is born. What is your problem? We stayed out of her way for the rest of that visit. Then she joked that I had finally gotten embarrassed by my name and was using my middle name because one of my uncles who always called me by my middle name was visiting and she heard him call me that. What is your- Oh my god, I can't. I literally can't. More stuff like that happened, and then Saturday we were back at my in-laws' house for mother-in-law's birthday, and sister-in-law was joking with some of the mother-in-law's siblings about my name. She tried to involve me by calling me over to tell her dumb jokes. It finally got to me, and I asked her, does she have to be so annoying? Literally, do you have to be so annoying? I told her how tiring it is to always hear her dumb jokes, which aren't even really jokes like she claims, but insults directed at me. She called me sensitive, and I told her she's the person who hasn't given up on my name in over a decade. I told her everyone gets it. She sees Skies as a girl's name, but she's not funny. Sister-in-law got mad. My wife told her she was about to become a mom and really needed to listen to us and grow up. We have told her to stop saying this shit in the past too. She always says she's just joking. Am I the asshole? No! She is the asshole! Oh my god, what a asshole. Sister-in-law's obsession with OP isn't normal. That's probably the man she wanted to be with, but couldn't. Alright, now, those are the ones whenever it gets too into it. Am I the asshole for refusing a luxury purse for my mother-in-law? We say no. Because I just have this weird thing with if you get anything from somebody, that means you owe them now. Is that a me thing? Okay, whatever, alright? Mind your business. I, 27 female, refurbish purses, both luxury and sentimental, as a lucrative side hustle. Sometimes I'll also go to thrift stores and see if I can find purses that people have discarded and either sell them or give them as gifts. About 6 months ago, I found a black Letitia leather's tote that was in great condition and decided to keep it for myself. I have a pretty maximalist aesthetic, so I make it my own by tying various scarves and beads around the handle periodically. I love this bag, and I love it even more than it only cost me $8. That's fair. Yep. My husband, 28 male, and I eat dinner at my mother-in-law's house quite often, and she is the originator of the clean girl aesthetic. Everything in her house is very white and minimal. Her style is also this way, and she only wears neutrals. I say this because when I first came over with my new bag, she said how loud it was. From then on, every time I went over to her house, she always made some sort of "you still carrying that thing around everywhere" comment. It got to the point that I just started leaving it in the car. A month ago, though, we all went to a nicer restaurant. I brought my bag in, to which my mother-in-law scoffed and said, "Please leave that ugly thing in the car. It's so embarrassing." You're embarrassing. No, you! This struck a nerve and we had a little tiff over it, to which it ended with her making a comment that she was going to buy me another bag so she didn't have to look at mine anymore. In the moment, I didn't take her seriously and I honestly forgot the whole comment entirely. Last week, we went over for dinner at her house when she met us at the door with a huge smile. She grabbed my arm and rushed me to the other room and told me she had something to show me. It was a Kate Spade perfect large tote in a yellow beige color. "Put it on," she said. "Don't you love it?" That's when I realized that she had bought this for me, and I said, "I really appreciate the gesture, but if you're going to get me a bag, it would be nice to go shopping together so that I can get something that is more my style." She told me there was a final sale, and when I told her that she should keep it for herself, she blew up and started calling me ungrateful. I told her I wasn't going to take something that I wouldn't use, let alone didn't like, and she started crying. My husband and I left, and he told me I should have just taken the bag and used it when we went out with her. For me, something expensive like that should be used by someone who really likes it, and it's obvious she bought it to project herself onto me. Am I the asshole? I don't know. I think they're the asshole, though. I would reject that gift. I don't know. I don't know. I would want to reject that gift because like the only reason why you're giving it to me is like it's not a sore in your eye anymore. You just say thank you and take it. But then it's like you have to like bring it over. And I don't know. I think it's like the whole principle behind it that is what is bothering me. Oh yeah, it's given from a bad spot, but you still smile and say thank you. Well, if you do that, what kind of other shit is she gonna pull later? Is she gonna try to like be like, no, you're dressing like I just feel like that'll snowball. I don't know. It's just not sitting right with me. It is probably best to stop that kind of behavior, like nip that in the bud, you know?
Maybe I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Because if I like putting myself in that shoe, in like that spot,
yeah,
I would take it and I would probably inform them that I don't intend to use it. And then if they say anything about me not using it, I would offer to give it back.
I think it'll just, if she took it and then like didn't, I feel like it would still end up being problems, but she's still gonna find problems with her other little purse anyway. Like, what if she took that purse and then she styled it the way that she styles it too? She'd probably get mad at her then too. I don't know. I feel like there's no winning with that. Unless she explicitly just does what the mother-in-law is telling her to do. I think that's the only way it would be like, it would work out for her, kind of. I'd say not the asshole. Okay, we got 3 more. This one is, would I be the asshole if I block my sister from selling the house where our mom and stepfamily live? No? I would just say no. I don't know, I feel like this is one of those it depends situations, but I guess we'll find out. My parents, 58 male, 52 female, divorced when I was 12 and my sister 8. I didn't know the details at the time. Parents showed no rancor, neither disparaged the other in front of us, but learned them later. Mom carried on an affair. Oh no, an affair? Dad found out, gasp. Divorce. Okay. Dad came to the marriage already wealthy and there was a prenup. Oh. Given shared custody, he didn't want us to grow up half in a poor household, half in a rich household, and provided for mom's household beyond what was required. He put the marital home into a trust, along with assets that would throw off sufficient income to cover cost of the house and supplementing mom's income to the point of reaching an upper middle class lifestyle. Damn! When the younger of us sisters turned 21, we became co-trustees, and the house and remaining assets are for our benefit. Sis turns 21 later this year. We need to agree on disposition of the trust until Sis turns 30, at which point is divided between us. When I was 15, Mom remarried, and her husband brought us 2 much younger stepbrothers. They lived in our house, still do. I disliked Mom's husband, and given that courts in our state will consider a child's preference at 14, I forced the issue and went to live with my dad full-time. My sister could not do the same, which left her unhappy. At 14, she also forced her way to fully living with Dad. While I reestablished, over time, a cordial, if not super close relationship with Mom, the extra 3 years my sister had living with her totally poisoned their relationship. Oof. Sis has been low contact with Mom for years. Dad never remarried, and we 3 are all very close. As Sis approaches her 21st birthday, she has started telling me we need to get a realtor and otherwise prepare to sell the house. Mom, it turns out, has made no preparations for losing the house and has not saved anything out of the trust distributions. While she and her family won't end up homeless if the house is sold from under them, and distributations. I don't even think I said that word right. And they will for sure need to move to a cheaper town and live much more modestly. Mom has acted shocked, and we should sell the house and take the other assets for ourselves. My sister is adamant that the house should be sold the day she turns 21 and the money divided between us. While an airdrop of $1 million is obviously attractive, what the hell? Neither of us need the money. We are both doing fine, and Dad surely helps directly with house down payment or grad school, things of that nature. It feels like my sister wants to punish Mom. Dad wants to stay out of it, except to tell us, revenge feels good for a minute, but being generous ultimately feels better in the long term. Relatives on Mom's side have been pestering my sister, which has only hardened her resolve. Mom did a crap job of parenting, I admit, but I don't want to go out of my way to hurt her. Would I be the asshole if I block kicking Mom out and continuing my half of the distributions until Sis is 30? I don't think you're the asshole, but I feel really bad on, like, the only way I can think of that, like, she probably went through some really terrible shit. This one is, am I the asshole for telling the bride I don't want to wear the bridesmaid's dress chosen for me? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes, that's my initial reaction, but now that I think about it for more than 2 seconds, the only way that I can think of it being not the asshole is if they're, like, purposely, like, giving them something that's not flattering to them. which I see in movies. Movies. I, 40 female, was invited to be a bridesmaid for my good friend who I'll call Beth, 32 female. We've been friends for almost 8 years after we met at a support group. I happily agreed to be Beth's bridesmaid and assumed I'd be one of many. However, Beth told me her friend just had a baby and her other friend will be having gallbladder surgery at that time. Damn! So it'll only be me, her 3 younger sisters, and her sister-in-law. I was okay with this at first until I actually saw them. They look very, very young. They're all between 19 to 28 and they're extremely slim. I look much older than all of them. That made me feel pretty uncomfortable. On top of that, she allowed her sisters to choose the dress because I was not able to go with them to the appointments as it was too early for me. The girls chose this sexy, silky satin dress that looks very, very tight on their bodies, which on them looks fantastic as they are young with younger bodies, but on me, it will look terrible. I just know it will. You didn't try it on. I was very nice and told my friend that I'd like to choose a dress that would be more flattering to my body type as I'm older and bigger than her sisters. It'll be the same color and fabric, just something I want. My friend was annoyed and said her sisters chose the dress themselves and already purchased it. It's done. How did they know her size? We went back and forth for several hours. I was trying to make her understand my point. I will be the oldest one there. Everyone's going to be looking at me and comparing me to her younger, slimmer sisters. I don't want that kind of attention. My friend was irritated and said that her fiance is also in his 40s and his 5 groomsmen are between 40 to 50 years of age. On top of that, her sister-in-law is actually 47. She just looks good for her age. I'm getting weird feelings from this. That made me feel even worse. Yeah. She goes, everyone is different ages and sizes, and I need to let it go. I thought we were making some headway, and she was gonna let me choose a different dress until she left a nasty voicemail early this morning. She told me to get the dress or I can't be part of it anymore. I'm adding too much stress to her wedding over stupid insecurities. Oh my god. And that her family isn't there to see me or to see what I'm wearing or how I fit into a dress. They are there for her and her husband, so either I show up as a bridesmaid in the dress or I show up as a guest. And if I don't get with the program, she'll have her family members take my place. I feel she could have said it nicer than she did. She was very nasty towards me. I also feel she's not being sensitive. I decided to remove myself as a bridesmaid since she won't be flexible, but my husband said I was very rude. Am I the asshole? Edit. I am getting the same question, so I will answer. Bride and I met in a support group for chronic pain sufferers. Oh, I see. We both have fibromyalgia, and the bride has lupus, which is why the wedding is happening a little faster. Bride made the dress appointment for 11, and my flare-ups happen in the mornings pretty bad, which she's aware of. I'm not working right now as I'm a housewife, and I just had a kid. In my defense, I just got married a few months ago myself and allowed my own friends to choose her own dress. She was not part of my wedding because she actually just had her baby the same month as the wedding, but if she was involved, I would have let her choose whatever dress she wanted. I thought she would allow the same courtesy. Well, it's her wedding, not... I mean, okay, I don't know. She claimed that she did want to do that as well, but her sisters and sister-in-law all like the same dress, so they decided to keep it the same. But leaving that nasty voicemail, I think, is like where you lose me. Like, for the other person. I don't think they're the asshole, but friend did not, react too well to that. I would have been like, I'm backing out of this. Like, once the bride said no twice, that should have answered your question. Yeah, it's just like, okay, then that's, more than enough. You're the asshole for your mindset. I'll probably get downvoted to hell, but you're the one making this all about weight in yourself. Or in your words, young versus old body type. Yeah. 40s isn't old, they're skinny, you're fat, probably old. Also, discrediting your sister-in-law's unseen work as just looks good is dismissive at best. Don't go to the wedding, stop giving the bride stress. The bride is correct, no one will be looking at the OP. No one will care that she's 40 and has a middle-aged body. Also, OP, you could pay to order too large, by several sizes, and then pay to have that dress tailored to fit your body. Then instead of it being too tight in the wrong places and loose and saggy in others, a seamstress can take it in so the dress is flatter and accents the right parts and lays smooth and flows across the rest. You aren't a teenager or a 20-year-old, and that's fine. People have bodies. Some are slim, some aren't. Some folks have had kids, some haven't. Some people have chronic illnesses that make them thin or fat. Some people do yoga or bear or Pilates every day. Do you even lift, bro? Some people run marathons, some people have injuries that makes fitness difficult. Bodies are all different, and that's good. Okay, alright, everybody, this is our last word for the day. Are you guys excited? Yay! Okay. Am I the asshole for ordering before a woman who was still shopping? The way that the post is written is giving me yes. but I can see the logic, but I just don't know. We are in a fancy hotel. It was a splurge. I'm a little out of my element, but trying to have an experience with my 3 kids. One pre-K. I was like, what's a prec? One pre-K, one toddler, and one special needs. We went to the little coffee shop store for breakfast. There were 2 people in line. One woman was ordering. Behind her was a woman and her daughter. Just as I joined the line, the woman told her daughter not to move from the line and walked to the fridge about 20 feet away. I was in a great mood. I had noticed that the woman who walked away had on a beautiful dress. If she hadn't left, I would have complimented her dress. I did have 3 kids who were pretty excited about the selection of snacks available at the counter, none of which I intended to purchase. The first woman completed her order, and the daughter of the woman with the pretty dress was now first in line. She looked uncomfortable. She waited maybe 20 seconds. The cashier began to shift around, and the kids were restless. We waited maybe another 20 seconds before I kind of started to move up. The daughter had kind of shifted to the side and had tried several times to get her mom's attention. I asked, is it okay if I order? The cashier deferred to the daughter, maybe aged 10 to 12. I'm not sure what she said, but she ran to get her mom. I started to order. You didn't even wait for an answer! The entire order would have taken about a minute and a half. 3 cinnamon rolls, 1 goulash, and a bagel with cream cheese. In the middle of my order, the barista tried to give the pretty dressed woman, who had now returned to the line, I want to say 20 to 30 seconds after I began my order, someone else's drink. She said, I haven't ordered yet. She butted in front of me. This after I heard her barking at her daughter for leaving the line. I responded. I was mad. I didn't yell, but I felt I was being accused of doing something I didn't do and isn't my character to do. I pointed out that she had still been shopping. She asked if I could have waited a few seconds. I said it was longer than that and that everyone had been uncomfortable. She said it was being embarrassing and would I just go ahead and order. I said she should be embarrassed and I was glad she felt embarrassed. Talented employees stepped in and saved the day by offering to take her at the other register. She got the last word and huffed, yes, thank you. I'm not sure that it bothered my kids, but it ruined my morning and probably her daughter's. If I had known it would devolve like that, I might have just waited for her to finish whatever she was doing. She didn't even answer your question. I feel like that's where you do end up falling into being an asshole. She left it. I mean, it is the parents' fault, like the other parents' fault for leaving her, like, daughter order by herself if she wasn't totally comfortable with it. But she was like, obviously she was nervous. You couldn't give her the grace to wait 20 to 30 more seconds, even though your order was going to take like a minute and a half. You're still ordering by the time she comes back, but I mean, you also don't know when, but it's like, oh, he obviously would get her mom. I'm going with not the asshole. As someone who works in a coffee shop myself, I see this sort of thing regularly. People don't understand letting the people behind them pass so they can get more time isn't actually hurting anything. I will say that you should have just ignored her complaints. She wasn't directing them at you, just at the employee. So the best thing you could, I don't know. I just don't think it was okay for her to like not, she didn't let the daughter answer. Yeah, I do wish I hadn't said anything. Although the comment, while I was technically directed at the employee, was definitely for my benefit. She was looking to get my reaction. I wish I hadn't given her one. It is annoying. It does suck, but I don't know. It's just like you did wait in line. And I don't know. I'm just used to people cutting in front and that makes me mad. Maybe I think everybody ends up sucking here because you're right. For like, mom shouldn't have done that. Like to walk away and then leave her daughter to do it if she. But I mean, who knows if she knew if she was going to be confident enough to be able to order or not, or if her mom was still shopping or like whatever. It was their turn in line. It's like where I'm at. I don't know. It is annoying. Like it is annoying. Don't get it twisted. But it might just fall under everybody's sucks here.